draw a picture of your family. Yes. And I want you to draw 2 similarities and 2 differences between your family. Okay? Okay. One more minute. Seconds. Okay, we're going to go around the room and I want you to share either one similarity or one difference with your family. Carmen, what was one?
The similarity, my family, we all have double eye.
Double eyeline. Okay.
We all short.
They're all short. Okay. Carl?
We all have black hair.
Black hair. And what?
We all have the same nose.
Same nose. Okay. So, who can guess what we're going to talk about today? We're going to talk about genetics. Okay. So, these are the 3 outcomes for today. Does someone want to read the first one?
Students will compare and contrast the differences between learned and inherited traits.
The second one?
Students will be able to use Punnett square and interpret the results from the square.
And Carmen, would you like to read the lesson?
Students will interact the crowds we discussed into their own families by completing a family chart.
Okay. So as we go throughout the lesson, just pay attention to what you notice with your own self and your own family and apply what you learned to your life. So with that, what do you guys think traits are? While looking at the list, this is a list of traits that you came up with. What do traits mean?
Similarities.
Similarities. Can they be different as well?
Yes.
So traits, another word for physical, so the inside structure or your DNA, or they can be your appearance, or they can be behavioral, so the actions are the things that you learn, like sports, for example. So with traits, we have inherited or acquired. So inherited, those are the ones that are in your DNA, so you get half from your mom and half from your dad. And they can be passed down from generation to generation. So going from the list, are these inherited or acquired?
Inherited.
Inherited, yes. So acquired, those are the ones you develop during your life. And you're not born with it, they're not in your DNA. And no matter how hard you try, they're not passed down to your children. Any questions on those? Understand those? Okay, sometimes they can be both. So for example, a scar. Do you think that is inherited or acquired?
Acquired.
Acquired, yeah. Even though it is a physical trait, which most of the time is inherited, since it's you acquire it, you can't pass it down. It's an acquired trait. Or fish swimming, that's an action, but they have to swim to survive, so that's an inherited trait that gets passed down from family to family. So skin color, it's actually a combination. Does anyone want to explain why?
Like for skin color, we got them from our parents, so pretty much they are white. You are white. They are yellow. We are yellow. And yeah, but if you get tanned, you may get darker than your parents or your families. So that is acquired.
Perfect. You explained it exactly. Okay. Well, there's the scar. So yeah, this is my family. It's kind of blurry, but you can see that we all kind of started out with the same skin color. But since I've been here in Hawaii, I got darker than my sisters. And then my dad and I are the same because he works out in the sun all the time. Okay, so we're going to go through examples. And I want you, if you think it's acquired, do an A for sign language A. And if it's inherited, do an I. Okay? So I. Inherited or acquired?
I.
Yep, inherited. Good job. What about riding a bike? Acquired. Good job. And your height? It's inherited.
Inherited.
Yeah. Unless you have like that special surgery where you break your bones to get taller. But most of the time, it's inherited. Yeah. Okay. 3 more. So breaking a bone. Is that inherited or acquired? Good job. Acquired. What about your hair color?
Can be both.
It can be both. Good job. But your beginning hair color is inherited, and then depending on how you dye it, it could be acquired. And then your handwriting. Do you think that's inherited or acquired? Carl, why do you say acquired?
Acquired, because I don't know. Because like when I was in elementary, like I have bigger handwriting, but the following year, most of my class wants to copy someone's work, so I changed it to small handwriting.
Yeah, since you can change it and you physically can, it's a behavior you can learn, yeah, it's acquired. Good job. Okay, so going more in depth, there are things called dominant and recessive genes. Does anyone know what a dominant gene means?
I guess
Yeah.
dominant is that it's in your gene and it shows in your appearance.
Yes, it shows in your parents. Good job. And so the opposite would be recessive, right? It does not show. So for example, if my dad gave me the gene brown eyes and my mom gave me the gene blue eyes and the brown eye was dominant, what would my eyes be?
Brown.
Brown.
Yeah.
They're not brown. They're sorry. Good job. Okay. Sometimes though it can be both. So, for example, if my dad gave me straight hair, but my mom gave me curly hair, and both of them show up, what do you think it would be? Turn to the back of your page and draw on page 2 and 3, there are examples of dominant and recessive genes. So on page 2, pair up with a partner and kind of go through the list and check mark if you have the dominant gene or if you have the recessive gene. Ready, go.
I think for the gene, I don't know that.
So,
So that is recessive. No. Reduce P. Oh, they come.
Yeah, you have one. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you see mine?
No.
I have one. I have one, yeah.
Because I put my hair, the short one.
Okay, so yeah, I can see you kind of have one.
I have it.
You do have pimples, yeah. Any other ones do you have?
Oh, do I have? You have
I have the moles. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, I think
Did you finish that one? Okay, then you can turn to page 3. There's a kind of family chart, and you could just try to remember if your parents have the traits or not, or your siblings. If not, just leave it blank. I've never seen that before. She has one of each. Do a minute longer. It's this one right here. This one, yeah. So this one's regular. That one's a Yep. Mine are unattached.
Mine is attached.
Oh, so this is unattached.
Oh,
Yours are attached. Yours are attached. Yours unattached. Yours is attached.
即係以前好大個吊下吊下嗰啲咧，
Attached.
係好似佢嗰啲太貴。
unattached.
When you have like that little, like Carl's? Yeah.
That's
you-
unattached.
That's unattached.
Oh.
So you can
Yeah.
play with it one hour.
Yeah, you can.
One hour.
真係打下打下。但係你有經典
Very nice. Okay, going on to our last section, we're going to talk about Punnett square. Does anyone know what a Punnett square? Have you ever used a Punnett square before?
I saw it before.
You saw it before. Okay, so there's a scientist named Reginald C. Punnett, and he came up with this, and he named it after him, obviously. So have you ever wondered, like, oh, is my kid going to have blue eyes, or are they going to have brown eyes, straight hair? Have you ever wondered, like, oh, what my kids are going to be like? This is kind of a way that you can tell. Well, it's not 100%, but it gives you 4 possibilities. So what you do is, first off, there's going to be these. Does anyone know what these identify?
Dominant or recessive?
Kind of. So these are actually so we can say this is mom's DNA and this is dad's. And so he will give you, it's going to look like that, and mom as well. And then the dominant trait is always characterized by an uppercase letter. And then recessive is the lowercase, okay? So you put it out like this. And then what you do is once you have the 4, then you draw in. So for this one, what would it be? Capital or lowercase? And this one?
R, capital R, and small r.
And this one?
Capital R.
Yeah. The capital will always go first, even if this is right there, yeah? And then this one?
2 small r's.
2 small r's. Okay. Does anyone know how to interpret this? So if the capital is dominant, so say this is, the capital R means red hair, okay?
Okay.
Oh.
Lowercase r would mean brown hair. So in this box, if this was my child, their DNA, would they have brown hair or red hair?
Red hair.
Red hair. Yep. This one?
Red hair.
Red hair. Why, Katlynne?
Yes. Always show the dominant.
Always, yes, you always show the dominant. Even if there's the recessive, if there's a dominant, it always takes the place. Does that make sense? So this one would be red as well. And this one, brown. So, if I had these possibilities, what is the likelihood of my kid having brown hair? 1 to 4. Which would be percentage-wise, does anyone know? 25, yes. And for red hair, what would the percentage be? 75. So what do you think my kid would have? Red hair, good job. Okay, we have one more example. Do you have any questions on this? So for this one, we'll do the uppercase. This is brown eyes. And the lowercase would be blue eyes. So for this one, would they have brown eyes or blue eyes?
Brown eyes.
Brown why is it brown, Carl?
Because so the dominant credits always shows.
Yep, dominant. So this one would be brown as well. Do you have any questions? Understand it? Okay, there's 2 pages in your packet that help you to become familiar with this. Take a couple minutes to fill them out. Let me know if you have any questions. You can work with a partner if you want to as well. And there's one more page and then we'll wrap. Just do the squares, that's all I have to do. Okay, so what were the 3 things that we learned today? What was the first one? That was the second one, yep. So we learned about dominant recessive genes. Yep, inherited required, and what was the third thing we learned? What was the name of the square? Punnett square, good job. So with the new knowledge that you learned, we're going to take a short little quiz in the very back of your page. Just take 2 minutes to complete. picture of yourself, and I want you to put the 5 traits that you've learned about today. They could be inherited or acquired, they can be dominant or sensitive, it doesn't matter. Just 5